was good.
Had a snookful, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
They'll run with Elliott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
I think many people thought Ty Montgomery would automatically go back to being a wide receiver this year, but it appears he's going to stay at running back. I know they drafted Jamal Williams from BYU, but Montgomery proving his worth.
And he proved it, proved it last year. 5.4 yards per carry, fourth best in the league.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the two defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Play fake here on first down. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Jamarcus Lawrence in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. The front office all smiles when the ink went dry on this new contract.
Not only them, how about the coaching staff? Because oftentimes the front office and the coaching staff may have different opinions about the value of a player. I think everyone was in sync on this one. He's a guy that they needed to keep.
Encroachment, defense.
A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra that extra emphasis on it. Got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
To throw, it's Rodgers. That's complete to his tight end. This is Lance Kendricks. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. Whatever he was doing in September, they're hoping that carries over now to October because he was sensational last month.
He absolutely was, and we all know where it started at the end of last season, right? All the offseason preparation, the weight workouts, the sprints, right? The vision that he had, what he was going to do this season, and, of course, it all came together with the rest of the team. Those big fellas up front, leverage, And boy, are they getting downfield and creating extra blocks for him.
They really are. Everyone's been doing their job so far to create those holes. And this one complete to Witten over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
And let's get a look at the Green Bay defense.
Green Bay's defense in 2016 was a bit unbalanced. Number 8 against the run, but number 31 against the pass. So you know the offseason emphasis was on trying to make sure they shored up the secondary and increase the pass rush.
Prescott now on second down. Going deep here for Bryant. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Nick Perry in there. To drop him for a loss of 10, and it'll be 4th and long. Now the 7th-year man Chris Jones on to kick as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And this will be covered up. Pretty good result. It'll be down at the 14-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. The last couple of drives have ended in punts. Maybe the crowd minds that, but you're a defensive guy. You're okay with a couple of punt drives.
Listen, I'm the guy that loves a 0-0 pitch game. All right, in baseball, I can handle that going into the 7th inning. I think the crowd, though, they want to see a little bit more excitement. Let's see if someone can break something free on offense and get going.
Offense at a premium the last 2 drives. Second down now after the pass completion. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. He gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that first down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. Rodgers now on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment defense.
So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
They go play action here on first down. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Second down, Prescott. That is caught at the 7. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
A second down throw for Prescott. This is caught. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to third and goal. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver. And he
will take it in for a Cowboy score. Ezekiel Elliott, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Now the return. Here comes Randall Cobb. And coming up later tonight in the NFL, we'll have the Chiefs heading down to Houston to take on the Texans. And then on Monday night, it'll be an NFC North battle. Vikings and Bears from Soldier Field.
Traditional rivals getting after it one more time.
Now Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Caught left side by Cobb. Touchdown, Packers. Randall Cobb, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match than a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop. When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. And on the left side, he's got Witten. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Dak finding his tight end Witten, and the Cowboys have a first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. A reminder with halftime approaching, when we get there, we'll ship you off to Orlando. Larry Ridley will have first-half highlights and analysis.
And I hope he's iced down his throat because he's got a lot to get through because we've had no shortage of points scored in the first half.
It has been a fun track meet. And he's got room. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down and a 21-yard gain.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him, and he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Tough to bring Bryant down. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Dez Bryant, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys have broken the tie. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear, from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And our focus now moves to Randall Cobb. September sure treated him kindly. Now we flip over to October. Any reason to think that those numbers drop, or can he keep the pace up?
Well, he can keep the pace up, but it's going to get a lot more difficult now. To me, it's a lot like baseball. All right, when guys, when they first hit the league, whether it's a pitcher or a hitter, and they go through the league the first time and they're hot, they're going, wow, what a phenom. Then they get tape on them, they get scouting reports, they start to do different things. Let's see if he's going to adapt and expand his game in order to keep up that type.
And a loose football, but it looked like a Packer. Yeah, Packer was able to get this back, and they'll indeed keep possession. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. On first down, Rodgers. There he goes inside the 30. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. We have been treated to great offense on both sides. The defense is on the other end of the spectrum. They're just searching for answers right now, aren't they?
And for most defenses, it's a very uncomfortable.
Dez Bryant with nothing but green grass ahead of him. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Dez Bryant with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Cowboys are able to show off their quick strike ability. And it's good. That makes it a 28-21 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Marching back onto the field now, Davante Adams and company getting set to go. He's done his part, but so far it's been in a losing effort, so they've got to fix something.
But that doesn't mean changing anything, the way they're throwing the ball around and his catches and production. Keep doing that. They're going to have to fix some things likely on defense to try and slow down their opponents.
Well, so far he's north of 100 yards receiving. And down he goes just beyond the 35, and that pretty move got him some extra space to run. Rodgers to throw on second down. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And before we could even hear from Larry, we're back and ready to go in Week 5. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Throwing, Prescott. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
There's a good push to the tight end, and I think they were looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed, I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, You light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
He's going to sling this deep downfield. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like. Like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. Now Elliott. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a third time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a third and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up third.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play.
And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Allen Hurns, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, you know, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And, you know, at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And he coughed it up, and the Cowboys have recovered. Breaks through the contact. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball. Didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
They stopped short, down at the 1. Had the great move, but couldn't get it all the way home. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be second and goal coming up.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Offense looks to punch it in here from the 1 on second and goal. Call it no gain that time, and now it's third and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action.
And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Nick Perry in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it. But how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open. Left him nowhere to go with the football. Had to absorb the sack.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. And Bailey able to knock it through. Elsewhere around the NFL, 3rd quarter now in Los Angeles. And it's the Rams who are on top in that one. Todd Gurley moving ever so close to a 100-yard game. He is at 97 right now. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. It makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
So the false start will back them up 5.
False start, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. A play fake to Montgomery. Now Rodgers. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right, safety valve, throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver. It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Back now here on EA Sports. And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And he will find his man on the outside. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right? And
this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
On 3rd down, they go Montgomery. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've had 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done. So now your coordinator, he's going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before. And he's also telling the defensive lineman, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try and make a big play.
And not only not getting off the field on 2 opportunities, clock continuing to run. 4 yards on the pickup, and it's a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Draw play, Rodgers to Montgomery. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Now that run is one to build on, and I know it sounds like a cliche and it seems like a simple thing, but truthfully, coaches are always looking for something to pull out of a tough day. And right now, this team has had one of those. So that run there, I guarantee that's a clip and save as they move forward and look towards the next game. And he'll tell his team, this is what we're looking for. This is what we planned for. Let's have more of this to start games as opposed to getting it at the end.
On second down, here's Rodgers. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
The Packers on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Throwing now is Rodgers. His throw caught right around the 6. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. Well, we knew he was close to the line of scrimmage, and they say he stepped over.
When you see him in that position, you think he's become a runner. As a DB, you start to react towards the line of scrimmage. They can often throw it over your head.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Now Rodgers got to have this one.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. Oh, and now he bowls him over. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bifema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. 10 more there and another 1st down.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
A 1st down throw for Prescott. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Kenny Clark continuing to fight downfield. The big tackle gets him for a loss of 11. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back?
It's caught at the 10. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with his 3rd touchdown so far, number 13 now on the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And he knocks it through. Elsewhere across the league, 4th quarter action in Los Angeles. It's the Rams who have the lead there. Todd Gurley, north of 100 yards. He's at 114 to be precise. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Packers get set to go. interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the...
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. So it goes as a... fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
To throw is Rodgers. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? On a West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down, meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But how about the great pursuit and tackle to make a nice play?
So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score.
319.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? It's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. This is Cobb with a catch right side. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving.
False start, offense.
Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Following the penalty, Montgomery. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. The Packers on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first.
I know Davante Adams really developed in 2016 as a receiver for Green Bay. I think he had plenty of incentive because when Aaron Rodgers breaks contain, gets out of the pocket, anything can happen downfield. You can find yourself open, can't you?
And it makes Adams a high-volume guy. Week 7 and 8 last year, 25 catches. Highest two-game total in the illustrious history of the Packers. Now Rodgers looking to throw on second down. And the ball is knocked out. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They start on the ground with Elliott. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. They go to Elliott again. And he is going to be knocked flat on his back. Oh, a big hit right on the 30-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup. And now they've got a 3rd down and 8.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking.